All right, welcome to Chatter with Statter. I am hoping that this is working out. Every stream I do, it's a fingers crossed that things are working as planned and desired. Let me just take a quick look-see here. And it looks like we are all good to go, except I forgot to mute my speakers. So there we go. That would have been a problem later on down the road. But, big shock here. I didn't start things off 100% correctly. I think we know that that's how I start things off usually. If you've been here from the beginning, you might remember a time when I had to restart the stream 3 times before I could finally figure out where I was at and how to get everybody to where I needed them to be. All right, so it looks like we've got Mark Hill in the house. Aloha, Mark Hill. And I don't know if Nancy is still here. But hello, Nancy. Yeah, Shakalak, the echo should be taken care of momentarily. Yeah. So, things should be getting better in just a second. Terry, yeah, getting all high tech with 30-minute standby alerts and a dash cam. Yeah, dash cam. Yeah, that is my ghetto attempt at filming. And we will talk about that later on. Okay, Nancy, you are still here. E.T. Guerrero, good to see you, Elaine. And Shock, it sounds like, or I'm assuming that the echo has stopped, or anybody. That echo that was there for a few seconds, it got stopped, right? Because I think I know what I'm doing, and I thought I stopped it, but, if I didn't, let me know. Yeah, let me know. Okay, and so Cynthia Krause, driving but lurking. Yeah, just stay lurking then, Cindy. We're good to go. I understand how life gets in the way. Echo is still there? Okay, hold on. Oh. Still there? Okay, hold on. Hold on. Oh. Okay. Huh. Okay. I know what I did. Okay. Echo's still on, but now I think it shouldn't be. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, cool. It's gone. Yeah, see? Perfect. This is a perfect example of everything that we're going to be talking about today. About how I don't know what the heck I'm doing, and I'm trying to learn too many things at once, and I'm trying to do too many things at once. I have a bunch of things about that whole thing. Sass, okay, cool. Sass, you're here, and the echo has been cured now that everybody's heard my Gemini self and the two of me talking. We're back to one voice. Yes, sirree. Okay, so I guess let's see here. I want to thank you all for tuning in with Chatter with Statter. My show is slowly, and I cannot emphasize to you just how slowly it is improving and getting all tech fancy. If you were unfortunate enough to catch my live stream a few nights ago, what I guess I'll be calling the yellow shirt session, where I was testing some things, I kind of figured out how to do a picture-in-picture situation, and I don't really know how I did it. So when I tried to recreate it a bunch of times today, I eventually stumbled into how to do it. But basically, I cannot say that I know how to do it. I can say that I accidentally figure it out occasionally. And so that's cool. Hopefully one day I'll actually know how to do it. But yeah, so there you go. So, we are going to actually be seeing examples of all these things and stuffuses that I'm doing poorly. But before, oh wait, Mark Hill, you're studying EPA section 608, but you're lurking as well. Okay, yeah, study away. By far, it sounds like EPA section 608 is probably more important than whatever it is we're going to be talking about here. So, hey, Poppy Shaney, good to see you. I'm so glad that everyone is able to swing by. Poppy, you missed a technological faux pas that I made. Yes, we had an echo. Yes, I thought I fixed it. No, I didn't fix it, but then I fixed it. That's how this is going to go. Yeah, and so I want to thank everybody for stopping in, like I said. And if you want to hit that like button, I would be happy. If you want to hit the dislike button, that's okay too. Engagement is all that matters to algorithm and the analytics section for YouTube. But the one thing that I really would love is if you hit subscribe to my channel. It's free to subscribe. Once I hit 100 subscribers, I'll get to customize my URL. And I only have, I think, 8 or 9 more subscribers to go before we hit that goal. So I would be very excited if you guys could hit that subscribe button if you have not already. Rick, good to see you. You're going to have to run to pick up the grandkids in a little bit for a sleepover. Yeah, I think the sleep is in the air quotes there. So, let's see, Mark Hill, section 608 looks to be about safe recovery, reclaim, and recycling of refrigerants. Oh, that's actually a really important, that's very important to do. I'm glad somebody's studying up on that. Yes. But I wanted to let you guys know that even though I'm not very fancy pants and I don't know how to do any video editing, if you are all brave and willing enough, I would be happy to show any videos that you want to submit to Madstatter. That would be me. madstatter@gmail.com would be the email address you can submit them to. And I already have my first drop from Chocolat. Now, I did not edit this because, well, you'll eventually see why. And I didn't give it to Andy to edit because I figured we're just going to show this in all of its glory just to prove, or just to show everybody, you're going to be responsible for making yourself look good if you decide to send me a drop. And I think that Shock did just fine.
Hello, Chatter Statters. It's Shakalaka at Eastern Virginia on what we call Mount Chickahominy, the Chickahominy River Bridge. So called because kind of high up. If you're on a bicycle, it is pretty brutal. But I'm not on a bicycle today. I'm on my trusty little red motorbike, Aqua. And I'm going to send this to Madstatter, see if she can use it. Shaka from Shakalaka.
I don't know. I was pretty stoked when I got that. So if anybody else wants to do a drop where you just say who you are, where you're coming from, and that you're watching Chatter with Statter, I would be happy to show them off. Once my editing skills get a little bit more in existence, I'd be happy to help make you look better and make you look super awesome. But I can't promise anything. I cannot promise anything at all in regards to editing prowess and color correction and stuff that you do when you video edit, I guess, or something. Yeah, I know. I was so excited when Shock sent me that drop, and she's like, you can edit it. You can have Andy edit it. And it's like, well, I can't edit it. So, I guess that just leaves it to Andy. Yeah. So that's how that works. Now, Andre, I actually, my pants are very not fancy. I did used to have a pair of leopard print, army green leopard print pants. They were my favorites, but alas, even the best pair of pants have their dying day. And so I don't get to wear those anymore. All of my other pants are pretty boring. Although I do have a nice pair of cargo pants that that dry really quick when you get wet. So that's nice. Let's see. So so Mark Hill, you're thinking about going to live down in Arizona on your extended stay. You'll be helping your parents for your dad's major surgery. Oh, wow. It'll be good to mingle with you all to clear your mind and relax for a moment. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, especially if you don't know too many people, in Arizona other than your parents. It's so weird how the online communities can really help pass your time, act as an outlet, as it were. I know that during COVID, I discovered a whole world of onlineness that, well, now look where we're at. I think everyone has come to appreciate that online friends are still friends. So, let's see here. Yeah. So what I was going to talk to you and show you guys today, like I was saying, Shakalak did a great drop, and that was all raw footage. I had nothing to do with nothing when it comes to that editing. So my editing skills, I have one masterpiece and it is a masterpiece of epic proportions. It's like almost 6 minutes long, and it's one shot because I don't know how to edit yet. The only thing I know how to do on the video editing program that I'm trying to learn how to do, or that I'm currently learning how to use, I know how to trim the beginning and the ends, but like to splice stuff in the middle and things, I haven't figured that part out yet. So I cut off some beginning and I cut off some end of this masterpiece that I have, and I added some music. So when I say that I cannot make you look good, like really, I mean, I have no skills to make you look good. This is the masterpiece that I have, basically. So here we go. Now, don't mind the dirty car. I'll show you how I got this footage later shortly. Don't mind the dirty car. That has actually been cleaned as of today. I even got footage for it, but I'm not going to show it to you because it's really boring footage. One part of like a 10-minute long stretch of the footage is kind of cool, so I'll probably use that. But yeah, getting footage is a whole other thing on top of editing. So, whoa, this neighborhood video needs to mute itself out. Oh wait, not mute itself because I had music. Let's just turn it down just a little bit because it's all in the red and I don't want it in the red. I didn't test the audio on this. I'm so sorry, you guys. But that is Lono in the background if the background music is showing up correctly. This particular drive that we're doing is a little little drive through the neighborhood that I grew up in. This is quite literally the walk that I had to do to and from school every single day. So here, maybe we can turn down the video just a little bit. There, I don't know the levels. I still don't have my earphones, so I don't know levels yet, but I did turn it down on my mixer, so hopefully it's not overblowing. But yeah, this is over in Kitsap County, and it's my little neighborhood. This neighborhood actually used to be part of a farm, long time ago, and then the farmers kept part of the parcel of land where they had horses and stuff. I'll show you that near the end of the video, but they sold the other part across the street, this part off for housing development in the 70s, and you see what happened. And my house is coming up on the left at the bottom of this very, very, very big hill. And this hill that we're gonna go up, turn around, and then come back down is the end of the county maintained road. There's no outlet in this particular neighborhood. So when it snowed, this hill was like the go-to hill for kids all around. I mean, people would drive to my neighborhood just to sled this hill because there's no traffic on it. Basically, the only traffic that would be going on that hill would be the people who live on the end of this road, and that's like 20 houses at the most. So, so basically, down this hill you would slide, and many dangerous speeds were reached. The mailbox section at the bottom of the hill, I actually remember hitting somebody with my slide, and like everybody crashed and boots went flying. That is the house I grew up in. It looks actually pretty similar. It's been probably close to 20 years since I've been around, and they haven't really done much to change it. So that's kind of cool. Projects in the woods. Yeah, I wouldn't call them projects, but they're definitely in the woods. Terry Gilmore, this is my neighborhood that I grew up in, and it's called Cantershire, and it's in an unincorporated Kitsap County. It's kind of near East Bremerton, kind of near between East Bremerton and Silverdale, is where we're at here. And so, and so this would be the route that I would take walking to school, and then we will actually see the school or pull into the school driveway where this masterpiece video will end. So yeah, this is basically the extent of my video prowess, which is why I can't make you look any better than you look yourself when you send me a drop, if you want to send me a drop. Yeah, Cantershire is kind of fancy pants, actually. We had a lot of naval mucky mucks living as our neighbors. It was definitely not my scene, shall we say. So, yeah, that's where we're at there. But this particular, gosh, my camera kind of got crooked. Now the horizon's all askew. And see, this is one thing that I've got actually several videos that I'm going to be showing you today where it's just like, oh, suddenly we're a little bit seasick. But yeah, see, okay, so across the street where all these little houses are, that used to be the farmhouse that was the house for the land where my neighborhood was built. And then all over there where the houses are used to just be fields of like horses and stuff. So you'd pet the horses on your way to school. It was pretty awesome. And then boom, this is the elementary school I went to when I was, in elementary school. It's called Cottonwood. So if anyone, I guess, wants to stalk where I grew up, I've given you enough information to Google this whole thing, and you can Google Earth it if you want. But this is a street view. And so, yeah, we're nearing the ending of the video here. I thought that was a good little time to end that video. So, yeah, so now you have seen literally like all I can do. I can add some music, but I wouldn't be adding music to your drop because then we wouldn't hear you. Or I could clip a little bit at the beginning or clip a little bit at the end. And that's where I'm at right now. So yeah. And, how I got that footage is a recipe, and you really shouldn't do this. It's probably not legal. I set up my camera, literally my cell phone camera, on my dashboard, pretty much in my line of sight. I mean, I could see around it, and I knew how to, drive through my neighborhood well enough to not be worried. I would never drive with my camera like that on like real roads and stuff. But that is actually how the camera was set up for that video. And that is why you can see the ugly, dirty hood of my car. But in my defense, I park under a tree at my house. So, my hood of my car is always dirty pretty much. Now, let's go up here. Okay, I'm back. So, let's see here. Yeah, okay, so, Terry, yeah, between Silverdale and Bremerton, that's definitely where I grew up. And then, Nancy, you feel like I'm driving right now and keep worrying I'm going to get distracted. Yeah, well, that's, I really am looking forward to exploring more with the whole drive cam, because I want to drive out to the coast and get some good shots of driving through the rainforest, because the Washington coast, the rainforest on the Olympic Peninsula is just so beautiful, and it's quite literally unlike anything else in the world. So I kind of want to make footage like that. I realize that I'm, in a way, copying what Andy does and what Photo Luke does, but there are places in Washington that are equally as beautiful as Hawaii, and so I figure maybe I should just document them if I can. And right now I'm kind of learning how to. Emphasis on kinda. Emphasis on kinda. But thank you so much that that you guys, Shock and eMusic and Terry, thanks so much for the compliments on my video. I was pretty proud of making that work. And let's see. Yeah, definitely Subaru, totally Subaru. So Andre, you're saying you have a small video camera years back, and the last time you were in Hawaii, you just put it on the dashboard. Yeah, and it stayed. Yeah, well, mine is obviously a cell phone, and I have the little weird tripod thing that's kind of adjustable and stuff. And that tripod, though, was quite useful. Yeah, Subaru, so frickin' Pacific Northwest. You know, Terry, that used to be the case. I have had many Subarus. Okay, only 2, but whatever. I've had Subarus for over 20 years. And it used to be that on a regular basis, I would attempt to get into a car in the parking lot that was not my car. But now the stupid, and I know I'm just horrible for being judgmental like this, but the stupid cars that are the new Pacific Northwest cars, everybody's got a Tesla. Teslas are everywhere. It used to be Subarus were everywhere. Now Teslas are everywhere. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, I should be excited, but the owner of Tesla just sort of bothers me, which is completely irrational and absolutely not a good reason not to buy his vehicles. I'm not advocating not buying his vehicles. I'm just saying when I see his vehicle on the road, I get annoyed, and I don't know why. That's just how that works. Yeah, it's the Russian dash cam of the Pacific Northwest videos. Absolutely, yeah. But you know, whatever I do basically, I do what I can do with the equipment that I have on hand, which is exactly what I think everybody should do if they want to get started streaming or whatever. Just do it. Don't think about it. Just get the bare minimum and do it. Yeah, Elon Musk does look like a villain in a James Bond movie. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, oh, Andy, thank you so much for the for the kind words. Yeah, I thought that you would probably cringe a little bit with the shot of the video, or the shot of the camera in that drive video, because you could see the hood of the car, and the hood of the car was so dirty. And then also, because it's behind the glass window, there is a little bit of reflection. Which definitely is a problem. Eventually, I'll be upgrading probably to a camera that can go outside of my car. But for right now, I'm pretty stoked at having figured out how to do some in-car videos. Because, by the way, I did not... So I've filmed actually a bunch of videos while I'm driving now. And the only one that I've videoed with the dash cam was the one that you guys just saw. Now what I'm doing is I took the tripod and I wrapped the legs of the tripod around the rear view mirror. And so now the, you know, the thing that does the video, the camera, now the camera just sort of hangs there, and when I angle it right, it doesn't get the hood of the car, but we're still dealing with the reflection of the window, and so that's a bit of an issue. But I've gotten some footage with that camera set up, and it's not bad. I like that. So let's see here. Let's go back to my face. I need to figure out how to edit things or transition my scenes a little bit more smoothly, as it were. And I have a fancy pants new toy that I don't know how to use yet. I got this the other day, and I still don't know how to use it, but that's okay. Now, I had a goal today to learn how to at least do one button on the Stream Deck. But instead, I went out to go shooting footage of my car wash and drive around and blah, blah, blah. So I spent some time experimenting with gathering some raw video footage because when you're trying to learn how to edit videos, you need raw footage, and I don't have a whole lot of that. So suddenly I have all of these thoughts about, or all these different things that I have to go do. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Andy Bumatai makes everything look really easy. It's not, but you know. So let's see here. Okay. Rick S., just kicking around on a piece of ground in your hometown, but don't wait for someone to show you the way. So, okay, I don't know what lyrics those were, so I'm not going to sing it. Andre, you've got so many cameras, but not enough nerve to use them for public viewing. Andre, the whole point of this stream is to get people to show their awful stuff in public viewing. Here, okay. So I've got this other video that that is really pretty, but here, I'll just show it to you, and then you can figure out, you can tell me all the things that are wrong with it. Yeah, so last time I checked, the line of the horizon, especially when it comes to water, usually isn't like at, I don't know what, a 45-degree angle. I was so busy concentrating on the start of the rocks that I just didn't even look to notice that the ocean was running downhill. I mean, like, so it's all these little things, right? That it's just like, oh, well, that's really pretty, except for it's not, because what? So, I might be able to, later on in fancy pants video editing mode, I might be able to figure out how to make it so the ocean is once again flat. But for right now, with what I know and what I can do, and most importantly, what I can't do, that clip is just like, it's just not going to work. It's just a bunch of little things. And it looks like Andy has a really great example of how a bunch of little things can actually help too. So a black towel or a black t-shirt on the dash to stop the reflection. I am definitely going to try that. Lord knows I only wear black, so I'm sure I won't be able to find anything black. Cool. I'm going to definitely try that for sure. Medium 7 up, you're back for a bit, taking your ukulele to get restrung, then to the laundromat. Walking into the shower with clothes on can only go so far. Oh, yeah, that's true. Thanks for the pro tip, Andy. Oh my God, you guys, Miles, I told you to bring 30 pairs of undies. Don't you remember? I told you needed to have 14 trunks full of undies just for a 3-day trip. Come on. Didn't I teach you better than this? So, yes, Poppy Shaney, you are correct. Boeing Field is just to the right. And Terry Gilmore, yes, you are correct. That footage was shot from Alki Beach. Actually, that's not true. It was from West Seattle on the Duwamish Head area. People refer to it as Alki, but Alki actually doesn't have a very good view of the city. Duwamish Head is the stretch of beach that has the beautiful view of the city. That is the... probably the most iconic photograph location or not iconic, it's the go-to location that every couple in the Seattle area goes to for their wedding day picture, is that viewpoint with the city in the background. It's really, it's one of the best views of the city is from West Seattle. Andre blamed the global warming for the ocean flowing the wrong way. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Curtis, so good to see you. I'm glad that you're able to swing by. We are looking at all the little things that I've been experimenting with that didn't really work out just right. So, yeah. Let's see here. Andre, do they still have the open air laundromats in Hawaii? No roof or wells, but, that sounds like a nice place, because laundromats can get really hot and stuffy and gross. Shock, wedding pictures. What are those? You don't have any wedding pictures because you eloped or something? No, plenty people, you cannot, if you go ride your bike up and down that stretch, on any sunny weekend day, doesn't matter if it's Saturday or Sunday, you'll see limos. It's almost a constant flow of limos and photographers and brides and grooms. It's kind of interesting. Some days, like, you get to see so many different styles of wedding styles. I remember this one day, there was this one group of people, like the wedding dress was this bright turquoise and like everything was turquoise. So it was just this massive bunch of turquoise bridal party. It was very strange because she was not wearing white, she was wearing turquoise. And then like there was this Chinese couple who was just in this gorgeous hand painted silk dress and like just the epitome of elegance of just, I mean, it was just the extremes of just, wow, there is so much more to a wedding than just the typical white dress, because neither bride was wearing a typical white dress. But it was just so, hers was beige with pink accents and blah. The other one was bright turquoise. And it was just, I have to say, I actually stopped my bike ride just to take in the scene because it was two extremes that were so amazingly different. I wasn't going to just ride by that. I had to check it out. And so I did. Let's see here. So the best shots of San Francisco are from Treasure Island. Lots of wedding pictures there. Yeah, I mean, when you got a body of water in front of the skyline of a city, you get to the other side of the body of water so you can get that gorgeous water and skyline shot. I mean, it's classic, right? Unless you're Pocolotti and get married at Cary Park on Queen Anne Hill for a Space Needle view. That's funny you should say that. I didn't know. I know the park you're talking about, but I didn't know the park's name until now. And I was going to say the only other shot that rivals the West Seattle shot of Seattle is there's this one place on Queen Anne Hill, turns out it's Cary Park, that looks northward, or it looks from the north of the city south to the whole city, basically. And it's a phenomenal view of the Seattle Center and a lot of iconic photos of Seattle, especially featuring the Space Needle, are taken from that location. Without a doubt, yeah. Terry, you've got it nailed down. Those are the two spots where you get the best pics of Seattle. Cary Park and then the Duwamish Head at Alki, or across from Duwamish Head in West Seattle is what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. There we go. Okay, so Shock, you didn't elope, but neither of us thought that getting hitched such an occasion you had to do anything special. Well, yeah, I don't know, but I mean, people take pictures of their food. I mean, at least take a picture of you signing the wedding certificate, right? I mean, I don't know. So let's see here. Oh, you were just surprised to get married at all. Okay, well then I guess, yeah. who knows to think of the pictures, right? Right. Terry, you wore a hippie dress and he wore Birkenstocks. Nice. I can't wear Birkenstocks. The little arch thing, or the insole, I guess is really what I'm talking about, isn't in the right place for my foot. It bugs me too much. It doesn't hit right and it hurts to walk. I've tried to, they look like they would be great comfy shoes. They're right up my alley. Nothing fancy. You can wear them until they fall off your feet, but it was just never, it didn't work. Hey, Christopher Graves, how's it? Good to see you stop by. We are chatting about the various beautiful views of Seattle and how not to take pictures of them. Or rather, I'm showing off all these things that I did that you probably should not do. Or if you do them, just recognize, yeah, nice effort, but still, it's not quite right. So right now, my skill level is, yeah, nice effort, not quite right. Yep, there you go. Great pics from Treasure Island of the Piers and Financial District of San Fran for sure, says Poppy Cheney to Andre. Shock, describing to Terry Gilmore, wore black slacks and a nice blouse you borrowed from someone who owned a nice blouse. Yeah, that tracks, Shock. I mean, everything I know about you, everything, yeah, that tracks. And I can actually hear you making that delivery. I borrowed a blouse from someone who owned a nice blouse. Yep, there you go. Yeah, Andre, Queen Anne is popular in Seattle. She got hills and nice houses. Yes, Queen Anne definitely has some of the nicer houses, some of the older houses, some of the older neighborhoods. And along many episodes ago, I think we've got like 16 episodes now, you guys. Totally crazy. Many episodes ago, I was actually talking about Queen Anne, and I was making fun of how all the rich people who live on top of the hill, and in order to live on top of the hill, you got to be with some, you know that no poor people live on the top of the hill. Their water pressure is so low. They have to like install pumps in all of their floor levels so the shower at the top floor actually will have water. And I, live in the poor part of town, and I have some of the best water pressure in the world as far as I'm concerned. So I like to feel superior over tiny things like that because I'm petty like that. And there you go. But yeah, Queen Anne, super, super nice neighborhoods, super old neighborhoods. In fact, I should probably once I nail down the whole driving through neighborhoods thing, I should drive through there because there are some really pretty, old tree-lined streets, and just Queen Anne really is. I would never want to live there because the traffic is gridlock. It's kind of a pain, but it is a gorgeous, gorgeous neighborhood without a doubt. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess. Hold on, let me catch up with the chat here. Okay, yeah, Shock, you had a potluck and your friends bought some Burmese sticky rice cake down from your favorite restaurant. Nice, excellent. Andre, no, I guess I don't have hippie feet. I do have feet though that I guess make me walk like a Samoan. I dated a guy for a while, and he was just like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "Well, I was born in Hawaii." He's like, "Yeah, you walk like a Samoan." And it was like, okay, I don't even know what that means, but I walk like a Samoan. So Samoan feet, I guess, is what I got. Yeah, medium 7. I mean, you do your best, and then you realize that the ocean suddenly is going downhill, and you're like, wow, I was so proud of that video until I noticed that issue. I guess that's not quite right. Good effort, though. Yep. Shock, you still do not own a nice blouse. Well, I can say that I own many nice blouses, and I can also say they almost all look identical, and unless you're really paying attention, you'll think I'm wearing the same shirt every single day. Yeah, so there we go. You feel bad that your mom wanted a daughter and she got me. Yeah, well, Shock, I think you can appreciate my mom was a cheerleader. Okay? She was a cheerleader for the football team. She wore pink and stuff. Yeah, I was not. She was really happy when my sister started wearing makeup and starting to do her nails, etc., because I just didn't do that either. So let's see here. Oh, yeah, eMusic. Totally good point. That borrowed blouse was something borrowed. Absolutely. So, all right, Christopher Graves. Let's see here. Here in Lubbock, Texas, you can only go to one rooftop to look over the city, and there's only one rooftop available to the public. See one dog running away for 50 miles from up there. That's funny. But though, Christopher Graves, for someone who is from, the Pacific Northwest, where we have hills and we have tall trees, the ability to see for miles like that it's both overwhelming and a little bit scary, but also kind of awesome. I mean, you can see for 50 miles. How is that? It's just, I don't know. It's kind of neat. I mean, I can appreciate that. Excuse me. I can appreciate how the neatness might wear off, but I don't know. Super flat has its own charm to me. Let's see here. Curtis, you're on your fourth pair of Birkenstocks. It takes at least a month to break them in. Then you have to start gluing them back together. That's funny. But yeah, that's the whole thing is they do. Yeah. I mean, I've seen people who wear them through until like the cork, the ball of their foot goes through the cork. So they're now on pavement. I mean, yeah, they do last with repair. So, Nancy, you had a crappy apartment for about 5 months at the top of Queen Anne in a building they were going to tear down. So you got it cheap. It was cool, but I don't think I could have stayed long term. Oh, okay, yeah, no, well, not if they were going to tear the building down. You didn't find though living in that neighborhood to be a little bit, I guess, for lack of a better term, inaccessible. There's only so many routes up to the hill, and they're all crowded. I guess because I just am such a huge fan of secret squirrel back roads, places like that bother me because there are no secret squirrel back roads. Yeah, exactly. Christopher, walk like a Samoan. I know we could make a whole song out of that. So Andre, in San Francisco, the sunnest hoods, I think you meant funnest, but we'll continue reading. Let's find out. Are the poor ones like the Mission Hunters Point, Sunnyvale? Same in Oakland. East Oakland is warmer. Rich hoods are foggy in San Francisco. Interesting. Yeah. Terry Gilmore, Mad Statter will have to make sure her camera is at horizontal before trekking up and down Queen Anne Hills, or you're all gonna. Oh, all right. Let me reread this because this is the truth. Spoken as someone who has clearly been on Queen Anne Hill, Terry Gilmore says, Mad Statter will have to make sure her camera is horizontal before trekking up and down Queen Anne Hills, or we're all going to be seasick. Honestly, even with the horizontal alignment, I can't guarantee that you won't be seasick. Some of the inclines on Queen Anne Hill are dizzying. I mean, to the point where, honestly, walking down the hill, even without snow or ice, it takes concentration and effort to make sure you're not going to kill yourself. I mean, we're talking like 18% grades here. And when I say that, I'm not kidding. I mean, there's a reason why people in Seattle can't drive in the snow. And the reasons are both ingrained idiocy, but also physics. Science does not allow for wet, icy snow and an 18% grade to be traversed. I mean, I don't care how good of a driver you are or what kind of vehicle you have. It's really just not possible. So Seattle, without a doubt, legitimately earns idiot snow drivers because we do have idiot snow drivers. But on the other hand, give us a break. We also have some terrain that other people don't have. Yeah. Shakalak, you remember being told that the days of wearing t-shirts and jeans to work in the tech industry were over? Okay, well, clearly you were not talking to anybody from the Pacific Northwest because what? The Pacific Northwest is notoriously underdressed, and since we kind of control the tech industry, no, we're not going to let that happen. T-shirts and jeans will always be available for tech workers. My sister, she's a graphic artist who used to work in some techie field, and she dressed nice, and she wore khakis and Henleys to work every day, and that was considered like dressing up. So yeah. I'll see you later, Rick. Have a good time with the grandkids. Sleep if you can, but have fun. I know you will. So, Andre, Miami scares me. There's no hills and so much water. Well, and not only no hills and so much water, the water is, the land is limestone. And so the water's coming up from under. I mean, there's no damming. You can't dam something that's coming up from underneath you. I don't know what Florida's going to do. I mean, I do. It's going to sink, and I don't know what the people who live there are going to do. I mean, I do. They're going to move. But yeah, Miami I don't understand how real estate continues to be a thing in Miami. It just seems like a really dangerous buy. The science has shown that the water is only going to increase, and when you've got water and that much flat land, the water's going to win. Water can win. It can. In fact, water wins over land in the long run all the time. Yeah. Andre, I can see for miles and miles. Isn't that a song? I think it might be. Yeah, Nancy, no, I'm sure you didn't fit in too well on Queen Anne. And yeah, and that's the thing, is Queen Anne Hill is so crowded. That's why I don't really like it. I totally admit it is beautiful. It has beautiful views. It has beautiful homes. It has beautiful neighborhoods. It is surrounded in beauty. But everybody wants to be there, and it's so flippin' crowded. And I'm not down with that. Oh yeah, medium 7-Up. Totally. Yeah, head down to the Uku store, and don't say Uku store. No, the ukulele store, and see if they'll let you film. I don't see why that they wouldn't. I mean, I know normally they might have a policy, but honestly, and I know if Andy's here, Andy's going to just be like, "No, don't do that." But you know what? Just drop Andy Boomatai's name and say it's going to be for his show. I know Andy's going to just be like, "Don't do that, Miles." But so maybe don't. But I don't know, maybe. Never hurts, right? Does it? Yeah, maybe don't drop Andy's name. I mean, or maybe. You decide. So let's see. Terry Gilmore says, for a little while I lived on Lake Union side of Queen Anne. Always used to apologize to my car brakes for going downhill. Oh yeah, absolutely. I can't even imagine the car brake and the emergency brake. How often you would have to get that cable repaired and replaced, and the pads, or however, I don't even know how emergency brakes really work. But yeah, brakes. If you live on Queen Anne, you better make sure that you get your brakes checked often. Mm-hmm. Oh, you've never heard the term secret squirrel black roads? I live by secret squirrel back roads. I pride myself in knowing how to take the secret squirrel back roads. I cannot stand sitting in traffic. I would rather, if I was on on the freeway, and if sitting in traffic inching along would get me home in 35 minutes, I would rather get off the freeway and take 45 minutes to drive and be moving to get home. So even though cumulatively it would be longer, it would drive me less crazy because I'd be moving. That, and I drive a manual, so being in stop and go traffic is kind of a pain in the butt. But even if I was not in a manual, it wouldn't matter. I don't like sitting in traffic. I just want to move. So yeah, all the little back streets, side roads, Yep. So Andre has been Googling some things, perhaps, or else he's just very familiar with Miami facts. The highest place in Miami is Liberty City, one of the toughest places in Miami. That's kind of funny because pretty soon it's going to be the only place in Miami, and they'll be ruling the roost. So awesome for them. Oh, Andy, he tried it, didn't work. Oh, shush. I don't know if I believe that. E-Music, you imagine Secret Squirrel to be a Saturday morning cartoon? I feel like it was. I know that I did not make up the phrase Secret Squirrel. I mean, maybe I did, but I don't think I did. I think I think there might have been a cartoon called, maybe not called Secret Squirrel, but like he was a character on a show called Secret Squirrel. Maybe. All right, Cindy, glad you made it home. Hot out there. Yeah, it's supposed to be like 99 today in Seattle, but the clouds rolled in, so now it's only like 93 and cloudy. Neat. I'm so thankful for my air conditioner in my car. We'll just leave that at that. Yeah, Cynthia. Sorry, Cynthia. You've got your name as Cynthia, but I know you're Cindy. So yeah, you go around all the country back roads as much as possible. It's the funnest. It's the prettiest. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Oh, okay, Andre. So I'm not making this up. So Secret Squirrel and Morocco Mole, was that like? I feel like, was that on the Rocky and Bullwinkle show or something? Because those characters seem like they would be on the Rocky and Bullwinkle show. but I really don't know. And e-music, precisely. Water wins over land. The Grand Canyon is a great example. Yeah, or like all the, all the cliffs with all those ravines in Hawaii and all that footage that we see on the H3 that Andy shows us, all that land texture is done by water, over eons, obviously. So Nancy also thinks Secret Squirrel was a character. And you also found a wine called Secret Squirrel once. Imagine that, you finding wine. Yeah, I can't imagine that. That's so far outside of my realm of understanding of you and your life, except for I probably am lying when I said all those words. Yes, yes, yes. So Terry Gilmore, Nancy Kick, when I lived at the top of Queen Anne years ago, the Queen Anne Thriftway at the top of the hill was a yuppie pickup spot. Oh, I have no doubt in my mind that it still is a yuppie pickup spot, but I don't think it's a Thriftway anymore. I think it's a metropolitan market or something. It's like something even more hoity and toity than what Thriftway used to be, because that was a nice Thriftway on Queen Anne. But they've managed to make nice grocery stores even more nice in some of these areas. It's pretty weird. And 107, Cindy, no, you needed to just stay home. That sounds awful. Oh, wait. Okay, so I've got a couple different things I need to talk about here. Wait, so Secret Squirrel is also a nickname for people that work in intelligence services. Oh, well, then that makes sense why maybe Rocky and Bullwinkle would have one called Secret Squirrel. But the important thing we want to talk about here, Cindy got to pet puppies. Cindy, is that why you were out and about? You got to go someplace to pet puppies? Let's talk about petting some puppies, please. Petting puppies is pleasing to the person who pets them. I was trying to think of more P words, but it obviously was not flowing. Yeah. Yeah, I want to hear about the pups. I want to hear about the pups. So, shock, Andre. She says to Andre, around the DC area, that's pretty much all Secret Squirrel means is the Secret Squirrel government types. Oh, okay. I don't know. I mean, I know those are Hawaiian words. So, Cindy, ka ilio ele still all chewy. I don't know what that means. So, yes, Andy, exactly. Petting puppies pleases people. Persistently. No, not persistently. I want to keep this P phrase going. Petting puppies pleases people. Positively pleases people to perfection or something like that. All right, whatever. Yeah. So I still want to know what kind of puppy those were, Cindy, because puppies are lovely. Okay, so Shock says, hold on, Kailio, the dog, ele black, and the puppy likes to chew on you. Oh, okay, see? Now we learned some Hawaiian. I didn't know any of those words, and I'll probably not remember many of them. I mean, I knew the word ka, but, it's like, duh. Terry says, single people would actually dress up to go grocery shopping in Queen Anne, eek, but then this was the 80s, though. Oh, no. People still do that. But it's funny you should mention that. So, because the idea to me and you, it's like getting dressed up to go grocery shopping. Are you kidding me? Well, we had some friends come down when I was a kid. My parents had some friends come down. They lived in Alaska, and they came down and stayed with us, and they couldn't believe how slovenly all of us in the Pacific Northwest were, because where they were from, when you went to the grocery store, when you went to the mall, when you basically went anywhere, you dressed up in your good clothes. Whereas here, it's just like are you covered? Well, then let's go. So as asinine as it sounds to get dressed up to go to the grocery store, apparently some people do it. So weird. So, okay. Oh, okay. So Cindy says, I took my granddaughter to visit her friends. Ila Ila is like a crocodile with sharp teeth. Oh, okay. So the little puppies are like Ila Ila because they all have their little sharp puppy teeth and they go choo choo choo, something like that. Oh, Secret Squirrel was a Hanna-Barbera cartoon? Oh, it actually was its own cartoon? Oh, okay. Rocky and Bullwinkle wasn't Hanna-Barbera, was it? That was a different style entirely. I'm not, I have vague memories of, watching these cartoons, but I'm not one of those adults that gets into the nuance or the trivia of that. But Rocky and Bullwinkle, though, I really did like that cartoon. That was a good cartoon. Poppy Shaney, you always ask people walking their dogs if you can approach and pet the dogs. They almost always say yes. Oh yeah, totally. I have actually caught myself approaching a dog to pet them without asking its person beforehand, and then I try to catch myself and no to ask permission because yeah, you need to ask permission. Some dogs do not like strangers, and when I say they don't like strangers, I'm more concerned about the dog's mental state than whether or not the dog barks you or bites you, because here's the deal. If you reach out to a strange dog, you're risk getting bitten. I know this as someone who reaches out to strange dogs and who will continue to reach out to strange dogs knowing I might get bitten, knowing that I have been bitten. So, you already know that, that's a risk. But some dogs, they're not necessarily going to bite you, but they're just going to freak out. They're going to get anxiety. They're going to be heart racing, and that's no fun for the dog. So really, always check with the person that the dog is with, whether or not you can give them ear scritches. But as a general rule, almost every dog loves ear scritches. Even when they get a little bit anxious, it's just like, oh wait, that's why you wanted me? Okay, that's not so bad. So let's see here. Okay, Shock, you just sent me a picture. Or no, not Shock. Cynthia, you just sent me a picture. Cool. I'm not fancy like Andy, so I'm not going to even attempt to manipulate things while other things are happening. The stream being defined as other things. So, yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, see, okay, this is exactly it. Terry, am I wearing a bra? Yeah, I'm good to go. Exactly. Andy, I want to go to Costco, but my tux is at the dry cleaners. I know, right? I mean, I know. I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense. Especially for people who live in Hawaii. I mean, I'm not suggesting that people who live in Hawaii are slovenly, but I am suggesting that they can maybe beat out the casual nature that the Pacific Northwest prides itself. There aren't too many places in the country that are like even more casual than the Pacific Northwest, and Hawaii is maybe one of those places. So yeah, the idea of like, I got to make sure that my shoes are polished and spray my hair to go buy some milk seems weird to me. Poppy Shaney, Terry Gilmore, I'm picturing big hair, spandex, and bright colors, and a Gucci purse. Well, Poppy Shaney, it's the 80s. I mean, even a hippie looked like that, of course. Silly. And yeah, maybe not the Gucci purse, but everything else, even a hippie had spandex and big hair in the 80s. So, Shock, you always talk to the dog, but never approach unless the owner says it's welcome. Oh, absolutely. In fact, I don't know if this is a normal thing for animal people, but if I go into a home, I say hello to the animals before I talk to the people. Every day that I go to work, I go to my boss's house because I work out of her home, and the dogs are there, and I greet the dogs, and then I greet my boss. You always greet the animals first. I mean, talking to the animals, yeah, of course you talk to the animal before you talk to the person attached to it. Isn't that what everybody does? So Curtis Nix, yeah, when you only go out in public occasionally, you tend to drop the Bodo clothes. No, I think that's exactly it. I think you really did nail the nail on the head. Is yeah, they don't have a reason to dress up, because they're working and they're in their work clothes all the time. And, it's like, gosh, it might be kind of nice to actually put on a shirt that has buttons on it now and again. And the only reason to do that is to go to the store. That's what I'm chalking it up to. I really don't know. But that's kind of, that's kind of what I'm thinking it is. Oh, there's a Safeway in the Marina District that's famous pickup place, even made it into Tales of the City. I actually think I remember that scene in Tales of the City. Phenomenal set of books. And of course, I loved the movies. And I just recently, in the last year or so, saw that they had sort of the final closing of all of the movies where Anna Madrigal passes away. And before she comes, everybody... Gosh darn, I'm getting actually chicken skin even talking about it. That set of books and that set of movies, it needs to be like in the Smithsonian or something. Like, it is such a valuable snapshot of a good chunk of important history, the 70s through the 2010s or whatever. Armistead Maupin's books are, it's such a wonderful series. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there's a set of books. I think there's like 14 of them or 11 of them, 12 of them. I don't know. There's quite a few sets of books, Tales of the City, and they span from the 70s through to modern times. And it's all basically, it's all gay culture, trans culture. It's an amazing set of stories. I mean, it touches on more than just, it is truly a snapshot of American history. It just happens to be from the viewpoint of gay Americans or trans Americans. But, it's not the side point, but that's not really the point. It's a snapshot of American history. It's just, I really encourage you guys. There's movies and books, so either medium that you prefer, check it out. Yeah. So, Andre, you've never seen a person in a tux in Hawaii, but you do not hang out in Oahu that much. Yeah, I don't really know how many tuxedo people are there in Hawaii. I know that seems like every picture I've seen of people getting married in Hawaii, the groom is never wearing a tuxedo. I mean, white shirt, white slacks, kukui nut, you're good to go. Maybe a ma'ilele, I mean, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a tuxedo in Hawaii. So, let's see here. Hippie, no heavy metal guy. Yes, for the spandex. Yeah, spandex was everywhere in the 80s. You couldn't avoid it. It didn't matter. Cynthia Krause, thank you so much. Yes, I did a little 6-minute holo holo. I've actually got a lot of other holo holos that some of them I was even going to show, but we're already an hour in, and so I probably won't show those. I'll save those for a different episode where I talk about all the things that I did wrong in this video, because in raw footage, there's stuff that you do wrong, but then there's stuff that it's like, oh, wow, that was not usable anymore because you did that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, oh, good. Yeah, Puppy Shaney. I know. It's so silly. Why would I want to spend 45 minutes getting home versus 35 minutes inching home? Well, if I'm moving, I'd rather move for longer than sit there for not as long. Yeah, gotta keep it moving. Gotta keep it moving. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Andre, okay, so back to the Armistead Maupin and the Tales of the City situation. You really, you really nailed it on the head there. It's kind of like a picture of a gone era before AIDS. So many of those guys died, and it was so fast, and it was like a war. And that actually, chicken skin again, that was a heavy theme in the very last movie. If you have not seen the movie, the set of movies, I apologies for spoiler alerts, if whatever, but in the last movie, there is a real generational confrontation between some gay guys, younger gay guys versus older gay guys. And the older gay guys are being jerks. They are not cool. They are really being jerks. And the younger gay guys is basically calling them on it. Like, what is the deal with this? You're totally being discriminatory. You're totally blah, blah, blah. And the little young buck gets a talking down to from his elders. And that's basically what they were saying was like, listen, punk, we saw our friends die in a war. And you have no idea the sacrifices that we have made for you to get up in here, up in my face, to tell me how I can and cannot live, blah, blah, blah. I mean, obviously it's more deeper than that, but it's really, the nuances that are explored within that series is just amazing. I will see if I can find some links, because I think like YouTube or Hulu, I'm not really sure. I feel like you can watch some of these episodes. So I'll see, or some of these movies. So I'll see if I can put links to something to do with what we're talking about here in the description after I post this. Because honestly, if you guys have not explored this series of books and movies, it really is worthwhile. They're entertaining. I mean, they are funny. They are not meant for children. They're not meant for children. They're not meant for children. But they are a funny, funny, funny set of books. Just remember, not meant for children. Just remember. So, okay, hold on. I missed some things. So Tales of the City was on PBS. You're right, Terry. PBS. I would have been looking up YouTube. I would have looked in all the wrong places. PBS. Yeah, I'll see if I can find the links wherever. But you're right. It was a PBS series. 100% correct. Closed shoes. Now that's dressing up in Hawaii. Absolutely closed shoes. Shoot, there's some slippas that are fancy pants. I mean, the ones with the sequins. That's fancy. E-music, you live in a small Midwest city. If the fashion police came by, everyone would be arrested. That's probably true. It's funny too, how, it really does, even though, with the internet, with television, with everything being so instant seeming, and fashion being, I mean, Walmart is everywhere. Where people can buy clothes is everywhere. But it seems as though fashion trends really do start on the coasts and then move inward. And, the Midwest is like a year and a half behind what was cool on the West Coast or the East Coast, a year and a half ago. It's really, I've noticed that it's been like that my whole life. It's really strange. Get married in Hawaii just so you don't have to wear a tux. Hey, there you go, Curtis. So, Andre, you worked in the Marina District for about 10 years. Yeah, so you probably saw a lot of things. Shock, absolutely. Stop and go is misery in a stick shift. Totally. So that's, I mean, but even without the stick shift drama, I would still be, okay, words are so hard. Even if I was driving the automatic, I'd still want to go on that back road to take longer to get home. Let's see here. Yeah, new slippas in Hawaii is all dressed up, says E-Music. I agree. And Curtis, you loved your tux. It was comfy and it was a great day for you. Well, first off, awesome that it was a great day for you. And I had a friend in high school who worked at the tux shop where everybody got to rent their tuxes for all the proms and everything. And she was a she. She'd been to 1,000,008 dances prior to this job that she got. And at the job, she had to wear a tux. It was the uniform for the job. And she 100% agreed. She was just like, if I could go to a dance in a tux every single, dance from now on. I would rather go to a dance in a tux than the nylons and the heels and the dresses that all the high school girls are expected to wear when going to a dance. She actually, she really thought that tuxes were remarkably comfortable. I've never worn a tux. I cannot say for certain, but you're not the first person I've heard who said the tuxes can be comfortable. Yeah. I know. See, right, Terry Gilmore, whenever you see couples taking wedding pictures at the beach, the groom is usually wearing shorts and a light shirt, but the bride wears a long dress. You know she's going to be sweating under that heavy fabric. I know, right? I mean, I realize that every woman, well, that's not true. Well, every woman who goes out and buys a wedding dress has their ideal wedding dress in mind. And so it has to obviously cater to that vision, but maybe your dress for a Minnesota wedding should be different than your dress for a Maui wedding. Just saying. So, might be ready for stage soon. Well, can't go. What am I going to do on stage? Just sit here and talk to the audience, or show them my bad pictures that I don't know how to make the ocean flat? That's sweet of you to say, Terry, but I'm not so sure I'm ready for the stage. Hey, Mitchie Mama, good to see you. I'm so happy to see you. I was so excited when I saw that drop with you and Miles and Picola T and Wild Willie that Andy showed. Hysterical concept. You're political, you're medical, you're cynical. I love it. I love it. Andre, goths are really tough in Hawaii or Florida or Arizona. Well, I can't say for certain about what's going on with Hawaiian goths, but I know I've actually known quite a few goths from Arizona, and they fully admit it's not difficult being a goth in Arizona because A, you always stay inside where it's air conditioned. You just don't go outside. And B, if you do go outside, you only go out after dark, period. Only after dark. So in a way, Arizona like almost forces goths to be like legit, like, oh yeah, you're going to live it. You're never going to see the light of day. You're going to be inside until after dark, and then you can go outside. You want to pretend you're a vampire? No, you're going to be a vampire because Arizona decided that's what you're going to have to do. But I mean, I feel you. I know what you're saying. Because I've definitely seen goths. I've seen, leather jackets in, 100-degree weather, bright, sunshiny day. I mean, I don't know. What am I saying? I used to wear a leather jacket to rock shows in rock clubs that easily were like 100 degrees. And, and you never took your leather off. So I guess, I don't know. Marlene Dietrich looked really good in her tux and top hat. I'm not so sure that Marlene Dietrich, explain, find a picture where she didn't look good in what she was wearing. Oh, anything. I mean, I think she could probably wear a potato sack and it would look good. Or, I mean, not now, but, back in the day. Right. Shock. Exactly. My mother said that it's only hot between the house and the car. Yeah. And in Arizona, there's a lot of people who have a garage and the garage has air conditioning. So they go from their house to the door between their house and their garage. They don't even have to go outside to get in their car. So, and it's sort of similar to, I guess it's the same, but the opposite of what Andy was saying about all the locals who live up in Alaska who wear shorts and slippers all year round because it's only cold between the car and the inside. Your car's heated, the inside's heated, it's got heat. So, we're not living outside. So there you go. Let's see here. So, Mitchie Mama, what's the issue with goths? Runny makeup? Yeah, well, runny makeup, all black clothes, black hair. Black hair, when I had black hair, when I dyed my hair black, my head got hotter than even dark brown. It's really weird how black hair just absorbs the sun. Yeah, and then once you get the makeup situation, it's a whole other thing. Now I know now that they've got like makeup hairspray, like hairspray for your makeup. I mean, it's not hairspray for your makeup. It's like fixative. It's a makeup fix, which is how like all these roller derby people have a full face of theatrical white face with cartoon characters or whatever. That's how by the end of a sweaty bout, they're not just melted because they put this stuff on their face. I don't know what it is. So I can only assume that modern day goths don't have that problem. But I know that goths of my era absolutely had that problem. I mean, yeah, the constant case of runny mascara and, yeah, I mean, that smudged eyeliner look was half on purpose, but not really. Right, Poppy Shaney, he might have been a goth at one point. It seems like he knows the situation. Runny makeup and black heavy clothes, not a great combo in hot places. Precisely. I mean, the moment you throw a black leather jacket on top of something, doesn't matter if it's even just a tank top. You know, you've got some heat. Some heat. Yeah, so but like I said, the goths in Arizona, at least that I knew of, were smart enough to always stay inside where it was air conditioned and only go out after dark. What the goths in Miami had to do, I don't know, because I don't know very many of them, but I can only assume that the humidity must like be problematic with the makeup. Andre, you thought that I was more of a death rocker mad statter than goth. I definitely no, not death metal at all. I have no idea what I was really. I was part rocker chick, part goth. Because my era was like the glam metal. You know, I mean, my era was like Poison, Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, that era. So, you know, there was that, but then again, I only always wore black. That's been that way since I was like 12. So, you know, and a lot of my rocker friends actually considered me a hippie. So I don't know what's up with that. And I ended up going to a hippie school. So I guess there's a little bit of hippie in me. Yeah, I don't know. I was a lot of things and yet nothing. Christopher Graves, marriage was still way off, but for prom, you wears the barong Tagalog traditional Filipino embroidered long sleeve with carabao necklace. Gee, look good, feel good. Yeah, no, that sounds good. You know, that's interesting. You should say that. The school that I went to was probably a third Asian or Pacific Islander, more Pacific Islanders than Asians. And of the Pacific Islanders, Filipino was definitely the biggest chunk. But I don't think I ever saw any of them wearing that to any of the dances at school. Now, granted, I didn't go to many of the dances, but I've seen plenty pictures and I did go to a few. And I honestly don't think any of the Filipino dudes that I went to school with wore that. It was always just, you know, traditional white American tux shop tux that my friend probably rented to them when she was working at the mall. Oh, you say death rocker is what they called goth, more like, oh, see, in my area, before goths were called goths, because back in my day, the term goth hadn't really been invented yet for that style. And so they were called bat cavers. Bat cavers is what we called ourselves, actually, not death rockers. But I see what you're saying. And basically what I hear you saying is, you seem like you would have been a fan of the band called Christian Death, to which I say, yes, I was. Yeah. Terry Gilmore, I was a lot of things and yet nothing. Yep, autobiography, that is correct. I've seen some things, I've done some stuff. The end. Yep, I've seen some things, I've done some stuff. The end. You know, that might be a really great segue to the end. We've been on here for a little bit over an hour. You guys got to see my fancy pants video. 6 minutes long, edited at each end with an actual piece of music from Lono, which was obviously to be expected because Lono right now is the only music that I have permission to be using. I have not subscribed to a music service yet. I am considering it though. YouTube does offer an audio library, but everything I've checked out from it is not something that I particularly want to be putting all of us through again. So, yeah. So there we go. Oh, you're right, Shock. I did. I showed 2 videos. I have, I showed the, oh, I don't even remember. Oh yeah, I showed the funny horizontal thing and not the angled ocean and my holo holo. So yeah, Fancy Pants 2 videos. I actually have like 3 or 4 more videos that I could have shown you. So basically we'll be doing this again because I want to show you all of my bad stuff. I mean, when I say bad stuff, it's just beginner stuff. It's stuff that's just not that good. It's stuff that everybody has to go through in order to get better. And that's the whole point of all of this, is to just show everyone that you don't have to know what you're doing to just go do it. And so I'm hoping that people will get some inspiration to just see what you can throw together. Because quite literally, that's what I'm doing here. So there you go. So Mitchie Mama, how long do you have to wait to see today's show? As soon as it's over, you probably have to wait like 2 or 3 minutes for YouTube to figure out what's going on. And then the rerun starts again. I actually usually rewatch the stream shortly after I stream it, just so I can take notes and look at what I shouldn't do. Like, you know, when I scratch my shoulder every day, constantly on my stream, do you see me scratching my shoulder? Yeah, I try not to do that. And I noticed that I scratch my shoulder every single day, constantly on every stream that I do, because I rewatch it. And so it's just little things like that. So yeah, you should be able to catch the stream, like not but 5 minutes after it's done on YouTube. So, let's see here. Andre, Shock, you would be sneered at by any self-respecting goth. I don't know. Hard to say. If you wore black jeans and a black t-shirt at a goth show, I think your vibe would be just fine. I think that you might be surprised, Shock. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. So, oh, Curtis, thank you so much. Yes, I appreciate everyone. Oh, Deb, I didn't see that you were here. Thank you so much for swinging by. I don't even know how to thank everybody for being so supportive about all of this that we're going through together. And you're going to see some really awful videos of raw footage that's like, why is she showing me this? And like I said before, I'm showing it to you guys so everyone can say, oh, so don't do it that way. Like that dash cam thing, don't do it that way. Yeah. All right. It looks like Thomas the Turtle might have just hopped in, and we are going to be saying goodbye. So don't forget to hit that like button if you like. Don't forget to hit the unlike button if you like or unlike. But the real important thing that I'm hoping you will do is hit that subscribe button so I can get that 100. I know that's a little bit annoying to hear me ask that constantly, but that's my goal, so hope I can meet it. I am going to be ending the stream, and I want to thank you guys again for swinging by Chatter with Statter. I will see you next Sunday.